Hello, this is Gerald Ilvawas. I will go to a different word, which is also pronounced as dōng, as I have explained in my last video. And here it refers to the east. And that is a bit weird, of course, that the Chinese language uses sounds more as an accompaniment, not as a real foundation for all the words. If you just hear dong, you have no idea what it means. Even the Chinese won't know what it means because you need context. This is about a direction of your thought about a certain balance, and this balance needs a context. They do that all the time, so you need the character, the association of the character, or the context that will give you the idea, oh yeah, it's about this character, or you just combine it with another character, or which you can hear, of course, and as well, so that if you have, for instance, Dong Tian, you know, okay, Dong and then the heavens, I know it is about something else. Here it is Dong as a direction. And how do we know that? And I will explain in this video how we will see by the character, of course by context as well, that it is about a direction. And in the background, we first have this theory that will guide us to pinpoint the letters of the sounds then, of the orientation, where they are in our balanced experience of what we are dealing with. So there are some elements that are really about very stable things that we can count upon. It is about 9 letters that we use for that. A lot of more letters more say like, okay, there are some changes that are involved in here, and so I have to deal with these conditions. Or there are conditions in the background which really says, okay, yeah, but you have to change your position a little bit to see where the object is, where your focus should be, or things like that. They are the last couple of characters. That's what I will use always to interpret any word. And here we have the winter, so it first, that was the last video that I made, so we had already dong, and dong with tian already said, okay, but this is the context, the heavens, and it is the working element within the dong thing, so it will be used as an element. And dong on its own is just with the ng, it was at the end of a whole cycle of associations, what it could be, a whole cycle of balances. We have something that comes out that resonates. So this is one of the resonating elements. That was in the winter, and it was explained further in the last video. And basically you could already recognize it in the character. So it says, okay, I go for it and I adapt, and then of course I also have that resonating effect. Dong. Always in the background, in every character, are the 4 seasons. So it is the Tian will also give you the association of not just the heavens, but it is also this working field in the heavens of the whole year cycle, summer, harvest, winter, and then spring. And this is the preparation for the resonance of winter, what we will have, so that we can come to start after winter, the spring, in a positive way. So it is an optimistic resonance in a way. Resonance, this will work further in the background as the heavens behind us. After winter, it is like after winter, so you have a beneficial effect of what goes towards spring with positive, negative things. We have them already somewhat in balance. They have the after effect. That's what we will resonate towards. That's what we will do with the sounds. We will resonate to them. We will listen to them, and will behave accordingly. Now here, what concerns the East, it is also about this resonance, but this resonance has a different association. It's also about something that goes towards a beneficial resonance, of course, just in the same way, but it starts from somewhere else. Where it starts from, you can also see, in a way, it is also we know already that east is between the up. It is that measurement between the upcoming and going down sun. It is that resonance where all this whole process starts from, and where I will take out a moment. It doesn't say which moment yet. If I show it like this, but it will say that where this process starts with D. It is where this new process starts. It could be in spring, but it could also be in east where the sun comes up. There is the new process renewed as well. And the top thing is like, I go and see to that direction. And how do I recognize that? This symbol in the middle, this form in the middle, has also associations with some other characters. But first I will show you first. So it is in between the sun goes up and the sun goes down. It will be with O after the end, just like in the morning, after the end cycle of night. I could have it focused upon a day. A new cycle of day begins. It is very comparable, but it's of course upon a year cycle and not upon just one day. But that's the association we have now. You can't see it in the character alone, but all the characters are actually not about a day, but about the context in a year cycle. So where is in the full cycle? So where is it? You don't see it from the sounds alone that it is about a direction yet, but I already was a bit too quickly. There will come an association to it in the character that will make that clear. But basically it is that you look at the moment, the O, you have a starting point in a time circle, and you follow it up, and there's somewhere to. Nothing about direction. It is a cycle. It's about cycles, about changes, and so on. And in between that will be this dōng, just like in the other word. But this character has this extra association which helps us to give it a different context and a different reference point, and it will provide us the right association that it is about a direction, looking for a direction where a new process can start, a direction in this case. For instance, we have two comparable characters which also work together, the zhuo yao, or the estimation. It is actually a combination of two characters, the right and the left, or the left and the right, where the left is more about like I look for material that I can still have to plan in, so it's still unplanned, or I have already a useful background, I have already a frame, I have already a ground foundation in the right. Together it's about that estimation. Okay, I'll try to see what I can do, something like that. So it can be used as approximately, or more or less, or already giving directions. And I'll explain these two characters once more again, so that you can also understand it with letters. The Z is always at a place. It's always used in the middle of everything that is about changes, and you go towards the inner conditions to see what is changing or what is not changing, what can I change as well. It goes inwardly towards the changes, so it looks actually to see what can I notice in U, what is still unfinished business, let's say, which I can still use in which might still have certain moments that it is useful, and so on. And it focuses upon that. It's typical for also the left wing idea. I have material inwardly. It's not ripe. It's not really flourishing at all. But I give it a chance. I focus upon that so that maybe I can work with it. Very different approach is the right wing approach, as I say. It will start from the working field. I have this. I have already something working. It is already at my beneficial side, And I will work with that. Y gives it new, maybe even some new opportunities, that's possible, but it starts from only what it knows already. And this is basically the idea behind the right and left is not really just the direction, it's also the attitude which is expressed in right and left as we also use it, and this attitude is the most important thing. Why is that also a direction? The direction is also a direction in behaviorism, because on the left you are busy what the leftovers, what is left behind, where there is some work to do. It's that left or sinister side in Greek as well. Well, right is what is already right, what we know. Okay, this we know already, which is right. We have already some foundations. Let's go further. It's not negative, one of these things, but you have to be realistic. Do I have enough, or shall I take out some of the potentials that we can still integrate? Is it still integratable? If not, okay, then it goes immediately to the right. That's how politics works. It's also a mindset, because that's how left and right works together as two wings in a bird. But we're talking about dōng as a direction. So also dōng in this case as a direction. This is a direction not just as a direction within the square of how we orientate ourselves into the four directions of the wind directions, as we call it. So the east, west, north, south. No, it's also an attitude that says there is something when something new appears. This new appearance, these new foundations, as you can see, it goes to a foundation in where the whole new cycle brings us, that can resonate to us. Just like winter is after winter, we prepare ourselves with the negative things a little bit. Here we have with dōng, it's not negative at all. It is something that has a foundation, and here it really can start all anew. These are all the conditions where it can all start anew. It doesn't do that yet, but it will do that from there onwards. It's that resonation again that will give us, in this case, a sense of direction. That is that sense of direction that is on top of there. The same one which decides for right and left. So here I put it in the middle, so the focus a bit more in the middle, so they can see what's going on. So the sun goes up and down, and in between there's a foundation in the whole system from there, where I will find direction and will give it direction and so on, with its own gravity point that will resonate as a first foundation from where it all will start anew, where the sun will rise again and will go under again at some point. And it is comparable to morning, like I said, but it is not about the morning, it's within the year cycle. And the sounds themselves will also guide us a little bit to give the direction a correct context. So normally all the letters are in between the point where I start from what I know, and I go to things that I don't know yet, and I see what effect that I need to give it to, or what attention I need to give it to. So that will be the end goal, always to see, like, okay, shall I approach it in a correct way, that it will guide us. Let's see what dōng will do and how it is given an order. D, O, and Yen, N, and G, here are a bit imbalanced so that I can read them well. The D, O, and N are all about timings again. So just like I said before, it's about timing. The scheme here should give you a little bit of background how you can understand what's going on, but I will go quickly through all the letters. So with the D is actually, when we look at things in space, it's about the ATK are focused upon one point in one dimension, ULB in 2 points, CMAX in a way 3 points, or in a three-dimensional environment. D and Y already in a fourth dimensional environment. And how does that work? These are two focuses that you need so that you can time the things. The D is the starting point of all that, of the fourth dimension, of where I can start my time frame in which I will be able to work and in which I will work. So it is a resonance between these two points that will find the balance that I need. So it tries to sense what is here in the time process, because the east is not just a direction, it's where the sun goes up and goes down at some other point. In between that time frame, there is that sense of where I can see the direction. So D also is a direction, but it's a direction which has a foundation of time a little bit more than of space. And although D is the first letter, which should also be about a foundation in time, in a spatial context, because the first 1, 2, 3 is always about space-time context. Also, D is about spatial orientation into what will become at some point a time reference frame, and that's how you have to see D. The next letter, the O, is then that focus upon what will happen then on that time frame, and will take out the right moment where it will show itself. Like in the east, it will show itself there as a spatial reference with D, then into that time frame at the right moment you will see where the east is. Where the N is there it will show it's beneficial. It will show how it will appear beneficial. And the G will also say, okay, it will have a beneficial effect upon the environment. That's what the G is into the system. I will not explain it further now, but that's what's something you can understand as a result. So the direction towards a new process, I follow up the moment so that I can find where it is, and I will see that it's useful. And it's also useful for the environment. So that context within that frame is somewhat in the background, but it misses slightly a little bit that focus upon, is it really about space? The D is starting in space, the G is ending in space. So yes, it is in between space, but in between that is that time frame in which the sun goes from the east to the west. And that's what that direction and that resonance in that direction, in that character, should make even a little bit more clear that it is about that. So I hope that was a bit more clear. It was not the easiest word and the easiest association, especially not two words with almost the same sounds. The resonances of the end of some cycle are the same. The cycles are not the same. The association are not the same. But you have plenty of associations to give you enough context so not to miss anything. In the Chinese character, the sound alone will not give away everything yet, as I also showed you in this video. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.